You accept the wire. The Bank of America dashboard displays a pending credit from Firma Electronics Limited, Hong Kong, $28,500. You click accept, you open the spreadsheet, tab in, enter 28500. You then purchase $25,000 in Bitcoin through Coinbase Pro, cue the transfer to Sinbad IO, and note the mixing fee. The coffee mug beside you holds Macallan 12, 3 fingers deep. It's 9:47 a.m. The house at 43 Birch Court is silent. The Excel spreadsheet now totals $1,892,400 in the in column over 41 months. You pour another inch of scotch. The road here began with a job listing. 3 years earlier, you're in a one-bedroom apartment on Riverside Drive, a Lenovo IdeaPad with a cracked hinge open to Indeed. The search field reads iPhone repair technician, no experience. You click the top result, Quick Fix Cellular, $15 an hour. The application is 9 fields. Your resume lists 3 restaurant jobs and a high school diploma. You hit submit. 12 minutes later, the automated email arrives. Application received, Manus reference QFC192837. 10 days after that, you're at workstation 3 of Quick Fix Cellular at 1420 East Beltline Avenue, wearing a navy blue polo with the company hexagon stitched on the chest. You signed a zero-tolerance theft policy, promising prosecution for any unauthorized removal of customer property. You're shadowing Marcus, a 24-year-old senior tech who can swap an iPhone 8 screen in 17 minutes. He shows you the heat mat at 85 degrees Celsius, the suction cup, the pentalobe screws. On your first solo attempt, an iPhone 7 on the magnetic mat, you misidentify the home button flex bracket. Sever the flex with the spudger, and kill Touch ID permanently. Marcus says, without looking up from Instagram, "You just killed Touch ID, man." Your hands stop entirely for 4 seconds. You place both palms flat on the workbench. The cost of the replacement part, $47.83, is deducted from your first paycheck. You learn the repair trade in 35 device days. You memorize the IMI check at icecloud.com/activationlockY, which returns activation lock on or activation lock off. You hear Marcus tell a customer presenting a clearly stolen iPad, "Don't ask where the phone came from." You bookmark a forum post titled iCloud Bypass for A11 devices using Checker1N during a lunch break, then clear the browser history. The sign above the front counter says in black vinyl, "We cannot bypass activation lock. Do not ask." It's a lie you haven't yet understood. One afternoon, a man named D walks in with an iPhone 11 in a brown paper bag. He's been coming for 6 months, always cash. He waits until the shop is empty. "I got a phone, locked to iCloud. You do bypasses?" You hesitate 8 seconds. He offers $50. You take the bag and don't log the device into inventory. That night, at 11:42 p.m., you sit cross-legged on your bed with the laptop, the Blue Wallet app, and iRemoval.pro open. You enter the 15-digit IMEI, click Remove iCloud, copy the Bitcoin address, send exactly 0.0012 BTC, and watch the blockchain confirmation spinner. Your right leg bounces under the desk for the full 90 seconds. By morning, the email arrives. Order hash 44,027, completed. Device is FMI off. You text D, ready, $50. He hands you a crisp $50 bill in the parking lot. You delete the texts. You tell yourself it was a one-time favor. It wasn't. Then you learn the dark arts. You buy a prepaid Visa gift card with $200 cash at a CVS and purchase a 1-year subscription to GSX Buddy, a Telegram bot that grants access to Apple's Global Service Exchange portal without authorization, $15 per lookup. You download the Checker1N jailbreak tool onto a refurbished MacBook Pro, connect an iPhone 8, and exploit the Bootron vulnerability to remove a 4-digit passcode. The first successful bypass takes 4 hours and 22 minutes, with 3 retries due to a USB port failure. You refine the workflow, IMEI check via GSX Buddy, jailbreak with Checker1N if A11 or older, skip setup with Mina USB patcher if iOS 14.5 or below, submit to iBypassKing.co for stubborn devices. You accept 2-3 phones a week from D, charging $80 each, netting $50 profit per device. You buy a burner Pixel 3a and communicate with D only via Signal, messages disappearing after 1 minute. You're not hurting anyone, you're just restoring access. During a batch of 4 devices on the night of your grandmother's 80th birthday, you miss the dinner. Your mother leaves a voicemail. You delete it before hearing the end. The next morning, the 4 phones activate clean. You text D all clear. Then you lie down on the floor, back flat, arms out, for 12 minutes of silence. The cold coffee on the table is 11 hours old. You put in your notice at Quick Fix. Final paycheck, $676.13. You then create a Telegram channel called Celestial Unlocks with a moon icon, and onboard 7 middlemen D and 6 referrals, each assigned a code. Rate card, $100 for FMION. No passcode, $150 with passcode. $250 for iPhone tests and newer with both. You rent P.O. Box 221 at a UPS store under the name Celestial Tech Repair and listed on a dummy Shopify storefront. The first bulk shipment arrives in a flat rate box, 10 iPhones of mixed models, bubble wrapped, sticky notes bearing codes. You collect it at 3:17 p.m. wearing cotton gloves, carrying an empty black duffel bag. Your palms sweat through the fabric, leaving damp prints on the handles. You drive home via a circuitous route, checking the rearview mirror 11 times per minute. At the kitchen table, you draw the blinds, cut the tape with the box cutter, and your hands tremble until the first device activates successfully. The night before that pickup, a knock at your door at 10:30 p.m. Peephole, Lily, in pajama pants, holding a bottle of wine. You open it 2 inches. She says, "I was in the neighborhood," which is a lie. "I checked your old address, got the new one from Marcus. I came to see if you're still alive. Are you going to let me in, or do I drink this alone on your stoop?" You say, "Really bad night. Can I rain check?" She studies the crack, says, "Fine, but you're buying the pizza next time," and presses the bottle through the gap. She walks away. The bottle stays unopened for 17 months. You scale. Over 3 months, you process 28 devices per week, gross $7,200, net $4,900 after costs. You move out of Riverside Drive and rent a house at 58 Willow Lane for $1,450 cash. You sleep 3.5 hours a night during batch periods, develop chronic tension headaches, and decline Lily's Saturday movie invite with "can't work stuff." The friendship enters 47 days of silence. Your skill at checking IMEI and running a GSX query now means you can glance at a phone's lock screen and know in seconds whether it's a $100 job or a brick. This skill has no legitimate application on a resume. The tolerance is complete. You no longer wonder where the phones come from, only whether they will unlock. Then the crew begins. D5 introduces you over Signal Audio to Ty 19 and Jamil 22. The runners, people who steal phones on demand. You send a daily wish list to the Signal group inventory lane. iPhone 12 Pro Max 128 GB, T-Mobile no engraving, clean IMEI. They deliver an average of 6 phones a week between them, $120 per device. Cash drops at a laundromat. You also acquire an insider named Cupertino Gate on the darknet market Apollon, who sells 24-hour GSX session tokens for $800. With a live token, you can initiate a legitimate FMI offer quest inside Apple's own portal, no third-party trace. You now direct the thefts. On a Wednesday morning, 7:42 a.m., you sit cross-legged on the living room floor. You review a target profile from D5. John R. works at the mall Verizon kiosk, Silver Accord, leaves at 6 p.m., always carries the latest model. You type to Ty, Viridian guy, Silver Accord, back right window usually cracked. Take the phone while he's pumping gas at the Speedway on Brentwood. "Do it tonight, I'll pay your $120 plus a $50 bonus if it's an iPhone 13. You press send, 2 gray checks, then 2 blue. Ty replies, "Bet." Your thumb hovers over the screen for a count of 4, then you lock the phone and place it face down on the carpet. You walk to the kitchen, pour a glass of water, drink it in one continuous gulp. The GSX token expires in 11 hours. The phone will be unlocked before sunrise. You've become exactly what the store policy warned about. You remember the zero-tolerance theft policy you signed. Then you open the laptop and refresh the phishing panel. Watching for credentials, you open the laptop and refresh the phishing panel. The domain right !cloud-verify.com resolves on a server in Romania. You bought it 3 days ago for $12.99. The replica of the Apple ID page loads with a single field password. The backend PHP script waits. The dead need their passwords. On a Tuesday at 2:17 p.m., the admin panel auto-refreshes. A new row, j@gmail.com. Password, summer 2021. The Telegram bot fish alert pings. You copy the credentials, open a private Safari window, navigate to iCloud.com. You type the email, you type the password. You bypass the trust this browser prompt. Find my iPhone. Device, iPhone 12 Pro Max, Jason's iPhone. Remove from account. The screen asks, "Are you sure?" You click remove. 8 minutes from credential capture to clean FMI off. You exhale. A short breath fogs the screen. You text M7, clean FMI off, ready to ship to Dubai. $400 your cut, send address. Then you refresh the panel again. 20 minutes pass. You haven't eaten since the previous evening. The phishing becomes a rhythm. You send 15 to 20 texts a day spoofed as Apple, linking to your page. The numbers come from contact lists of previously stolen phones. You hire 2 operators in the Philippines via onlinejobs.ph, $400 a month each, to manage the panel while you sleep. They think they're doing customer account recovery. You call them team members. The workflow expands. NovaSim, your SIM swap specialist, poured victims' numbers for you. $300 monthly retainer. One Friday at 11:30 p.m., you feed her a number from a device Jamil lifted the day before. She calls T-Mobile, claims lost phone, provides the last 4 of the SSN you bought for $12. The victim's service drops. The verification code for iCloud reset arrives on the new SIM. You reset the password, the Apple ID is yours. Total time 14 minutes. You unlock the phone, sell it to Dubai for $700 in Tether. Your mother's voicemail plays while you compose the phishing SMS. You listen to it 3 times, then delete it. No call returned. The money accumulates. You register Prestige Mobile Holdings LLC in Wyoming for $199. Virtual office, business bank account, B-Stock Supply wholesale marketplace. You sell 50 unlocked iPhones to a buyer in Hong Kong, Mr. Chen, for $28,500 wired to Bank of America. The spreadsheet in column ticks upward. You hire 3 more runners. A full-time handler paid $1,200 weekly cash. Your workforce, 9 people, none of whom know your real name except D. Monthly revenue exceeds $180,000. Total proceeds over 3.5 years. $2,140,000. You buy a house at 43 Birch Court for $320,000 cash. A BMW M4. A storage unit under a fake name. The crypto laundering pipeline, Bitcoin through Sinbad.io mixer to Monero via ChangeNow, back to Bitcoin, cash out via local Bitcoins traders. You structure all cash deposits under $10,000. You attend Jamil's funeral, shot during a theft attempt. You stand at the back in a hoodie. His mother doesn't know you. You don't cry. You're not sure you could if you tried. The spreadsheet marks him as incaptive. A new runner is onboarded within 72 hours. People are dead because of decisions you made. People have phones because of decisions you made. Both things are true. You don't resolve them. The phrase certified pre-owned sits on your B-Stock listings. The phones are wiped, not refurbished. The certification is a fiction. You never think about it unless an audit looms. Your insomnia chronic, less than 4 hours a night for 6 months. Weight gain 18 pounds. Blood pressure 148/95. A doctor visit under a fake name, cash, notes, stress-related cardiac risk. Lily's last message from 8 months ago. I guess you're gone now. I really hope you're okay. It remains unread. You're not hiding from anyone. You're just not telling them where you are. The lie that you were a salesman has calcified into a silence you cannot break. Then Ty gets arrested. Friday, 11 p.m. A Ring doorbell camera catches him smashing a car window. Held on $20,000 bail. He gives the name Celestial Unlocks to the detectives. A Google alert pings you 47 minutes later. You initiate the contamination protocol within 90 minutes. Delete Telegram channel, nuke signal group with all members removed. Abandon the Gmail account, transfer Bitcoin to a new wallet. Take down the phishing domain, pause the B-Stock listing. All physical evidence, SIM cards, notebooks, burners, goes into a trash bag. You drive to an industrial park at 2 a.m. Home Depot sledgehammer, $34.97. You smash 5 phones on a concrete slab, the sound of plastic and glass cracking under the single headlight of your Honda Civic. Your grip is so tight that when you release the handle, your fingers stay curled in a claw shape for 45 seconds. You manually straighten them with your other hand. You dump the bags in separate dumpsters over 3 miles. Then you pay D5 a $50,000 retainer to a corrupt detective named Mick. Cash dropped in a rest stop bathroom. Mick sends daily signal updates. Ty described a white guy, early 30s, beard, BMW. You shave the beard. You sell the M4 for cash. You buy a Honda Civic under a Smurf's name for $500. You stop leaving the house. Groceries delivered to a neighbor's address, retrieved at night. The cash in the false floorboards, $630,000. While packing the bag to destroy, your old disconnected phone syncs old voicemails over the Wi-Fi you forgot to cut. One from Lily, timestamped 2 years earlier. Hey, I'm just calling because I remembered that time you fixed my screen and asked what my password was and I said none of your business. You said good password, that was funny. Anyway, call me. You delete it. The last civilian voice. A Wednesday afternoon, standing in the kitchen, your left arm goes numb. Slurred speech, 4 minutes. A transient ischemic attack. You don't call 911. The facial droop resolves in 3 days. You stop the amphetamines, crash into 3 days of 18-hour sleep and uncontrollable crying masked by white noise. You never saw a doctor. The FBI raid comes at 6:04 a.m. on a Tuesday. Ty's public defender combined with a geofence warrant on your burner phone led them to 43 Birch Court. The door splinters. FBI, search warrant, get on the ground. You're face down in the hallway in boxers within 37 seconds. Dislocated shoulder, flashbang grenade noise permanent in your left ear. The MacBook in the attic, Veracrypt container still mounted because you worked at 3 a.m. and forgot to dismount, yields the entire spreadsheet, signal logs, GSX token history. They find the cache, the burner with mixed conversation, the IMEI lists. Mick himself is on the entry team to maintain his cover. He gave you no warning. Miranda rights are read from a plastic card. You say, I understand. You vomit from the pain. The charges, 7 federal counts: conspiracy, wire fraud, identity theft, computer intrusion, money laundering, bribery, stolen goods, denied bail, plea deal, 78 months, 3 years supervised release, $1.2 million restitution. The FBI press release says you exploited vulnerabilities and victimized hundreds. It omits the corrupt detective who is allowed to resign quietly. Your attorney tells you they're burying the Mick part. You don't exist as a bribery case. You serve 62 months at FCI Lompoc. You get released with good time credit, a gray sweatsuit, $30 on a prepaid debit card, a bus pass. Your mother died of a stroke in year 2, your father of lung cancer in year 4. No furloughs, your sister's voicemails are gone. Jamil's name is await. The victim who lost the photos of their dead child from a SIM swap. You remember the impact statement. You carry these names. The BOP register number 78432-097 is permanent. All IP addresses flagged. Every job application flags the conviction. Encryption software prohibited. Your technical skill is now a liability that would alarm any probation officer. So why did you do it? You'd like to say you know. Some days you can, most days you can't. The $2 million figure was a number on a spreadsheet, now a restitution debt you'll never pay. There's no exit interview, no restorative justice, just a bus ride to a city with no home. You're walking to the warehouse job, loading trucks for $14.50 cash, head down, at 5:30 a.m. You pass a coffee shop. Through the window, Lily sits alone with a cup, reading a book. She looks exactly the same. You stop. Your feet freeze. She glances up at the movement, but you've already turned, pulling your hood forward, disappearing around the corner. She does not recognize the face. She does not look again. It was Monday. Cloudy. The bus stop bench was cold. You opened a library laptop, a Lenovo IdeaPad with a cracked hinge, and typed into Indeed, iPhone repair technician no experience. The top result, quick fix cellular. The same institutional blue page, the white hexagon with a wrench. 9 fields, you could type them. You could teach the new hire at workstation 3 the exact pressure to apply on the spudger, the exact sequence, the heat mat temperature. You could warn him about the sign that says we cannot bypass activation lock, do not ask, and tell him exactly how to do it. You could describe the first time you received a brown paper bag and an IMII. You could save him the 78 months. You stare at the screen. The cursor blinks in the first name field. You close the browser tab. You log off. Outside, the sun breaks through the clouds. You walk to the bus stop, waiting for a bus you cannot ride because you have no fare. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe.